Hi Annette, my name's Becky. I'm really excited to have you here today. And so, just to get started, tell me what's going on. What would you like to talk about today?
I'm having a difficult time grocery shopping. As weird as that sounds, the more I learn about nutrition and what's good to eat, it actually kind of paralyzes me at the store because I feel like no matter what I'm choosing is not good enough, or if I get something that maybe has an ingredient that's quote unquote bad, I feel bad about buying it, even though I know my family wouldn't eat something else. So I'd be wasting money to buy the one that I really would like to buy, so I buy something else and I have guilt about it. So I have a hard time grocery shopping. So I'm there forever trying to make the best choices. And so it's become a stressful event.
Gotcha. Well, let's maybe back it up. Walk me through the planning of grocery shopping. Meal planning, is that something you incorporate?
I do. When I get really busy, not so much, but I do try. So I will go through and make a menu for the week, and I try to incorporate food that is traditionally what my husband and my kids like. I've tried to modify it to make it a little bit healthier. Sometimes I will try to make some recipes that are new that they haven't had, just to break things up a little bit and to add some variety. And then I will make a grocery list and then go to the store. But it's even kind of hard for, should I buy this organic? Should I not buy it organic? Should I worry about that? Should I, they won't eat brown rice, but I feel guilt about not buying brown rice, so I buy the white rice. So I do have a plan, I have a list, but when I get to the store, it doesn't matter if it's white rice or if it's milk or bread or whatever. I find myself really having to debate all the time about what to buy or what's the best to buy.
So you debate over the item once you're in front of the item, and then it's over every item. Is that
yes,
what I'm hearing?
Pretty much. There's a few staples that I know will get eaten in my house, and I feel good about buying. Produce not as much of an issue because I will do that, but then sometimes if it's a cost thing, like berries, organic berries are super expensive, but any other ones are not, but then it's on the dirty dozen. So then I get guilt about buying the not organic berries, but then the organic ones are so much money. So then I sit there and weigh the options, and then feel guilt about not spending the money if I don't buy them.
So walk me through what you usually end up leaving a store with in the past.
Oh, I end up leaving the store after hours because it'll end up taking me a while. I'll end up kind of with a mix. So some things I just actually cannot physically buy, like plain white bread. Can't do it. I cannot bring myself to do it. So even though another loaf of whole grain bread will probably mold at my house on the counter, I still buy it because I just can't get myself to buy plain old white bread, even though that's what they're going to eat. So it's kind of a mix. So produce and stuff is not as bad because I use that to cook and it's things. It's more of anything packaged or breads, like dairy, cereal, stuff like that. Like this one has so much sugar. So then I'll get a happy medium where one that maybe has more sugar than I would like, but not as much sugar as maybe the kids would pick if they got to pick their own cereal. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it's always a constant compromise on my end.
Gotcha. So you gave the example of bread, that it goes moldy. Does all of the food get untouched or go bad if you do choose the preferred, ideal option and take it home? Or do some things get used if they're there and it's the only option?
Yeah. Oh, sometimes yes, sometimes no. With the bread, no, not really. If it's not something that I will eat myself, then it will go bad. So then I feel like I have to eat this entire loaf of bread, so it's not wasting money. Or I'll put some in the freezer for next time, and then I don't buy bread. Or or my husband will go get the bread because it's just easier. And I don't ask him to, but he's like, oh, we're out of bread. I'm just going to go get it. Because otherwise I usually come back with whole wheat bread or something like that. Mm-hmm. And they don't eat it. So, so sometimes it does, oftentimes not.
So to clarify, if you don't get those foods, they still kind of end up in your house.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah. Without me. And so,
Gotcha.
yeah, usually it's my husband, and he'll go on his own and say, I went to the grocery store. And next thing I know, there's little Debbie donuts and white bread and 3 gallons of ice cream and big pieces of red meat. So it's like, yeah, so it ends up in here whether I buy it or not. But then I guess I don't feel the guilt because I didn't choose it, even though I'm still not happy it's there necessarily.
Mm-hmm. And I would like to talk about that guilt a little bit more, that you say you feel so guilty if it's, you used the word bad choices earlier versus what you think are nutritious choices. Can you tell me a little bit more about why you feel so strongly about what's bad and what's, I know you listed some products specifically, but kind of where those beliefs come from, if you will.
Well, they've been coming for a long time. My mom is a dietitian, so a lot of it actually came from when I grew up. It was, we always had to have green vegetables at a meal. So it didn't matter if you already had another vegetable, we had to have something that was green. So I feel like my meals are incomplete unless I have something that's green on the plate. And my family, they joke about it and whatnot. They're like, oh, we didn't have anything green tonight. Oh, like they got away with something. Yeah, so it started way back as a child. And so, but as my own nutrition education has come along, it's gotten worse, I think, because the more I know, the more I feel like I need to implement in my own family, and so it's more pressure, I guess. And then the guilt comes from that, because then I feel like I know better, and I'm not providing that.
Mm-hmm. Have you, what does the education to your family look like? They obviously recognize the patterns of the way you're constructing meals, but tell me about how they perceive the nutrition side of things, and is it becoming a relationship that they have with themselves, or are they still relying on you to give them the nutrition?
I feel like my husband probably relies on me for the nutrition component, and he'll ask me, he'll make a meal and say, oh, was that healthy? Or was that okay? Lately he's been asking, well, I'll put this in here, I don't know how to cook it, so will you show me how to cook it, and then I will try it, or try to cook with it, or something like bok choy the other day. As far as the kids, my son really never vocalized one way or the other. He just said something was not his favorite if he really didn't like it, but he would never criticize and whatnot. So I think they know more than probably most kids their own age, because we do have conversations about it and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
but they still like what they like. And I don't think that they're not at a stage of changing that, I guess, or trying to see if they still like other things too. So they know a bit, but then they like what they like,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what they want.
Gotcha. So tell me a little bit more about how receptive your husband is, because he sounds receptive sometimes, but also still is the one possibly bringing in the ice cream and the little Debbie's into the house. But you've had some positive influence, it sounds.
Yes. Oh yeah. When we first got married, he only ate iceberg lettuce and didn't know what romaine lettuce was, and so so we had started from a very basic level. He grew up in the Midwest, and his diet was a piece of meat, a potato product, and some sort of canned vegetable, and that's what he ate. And so, yeah, so he's grown a lot in his nutrition education, as well as trying to explore different foods or trying new things. So, now I forgot what you really asked me to begin with. So I got on my tangent, my storytelling.
That's okay. That's perfect. That's what we're here for. Well, let me just kind of ride on the coattails of that, but so if he is receptive and you feel this guilt in the store and this pressure to get nutritious foods into your family, do you ever sit back and recognize all the good that has been done, or what they are enjoying, or what they're trying to incorporate?
No, not really. I don't know if I think about it that way.
Tell me a little bit more
No,
about that.
Mostly I focus on what's not happening. And the fact that, no, they won't eat whole wheat bread, and they still want cereal with sugar, and they still want their, I don't know, top ramen, which is one of those that I just can't buy anymore. So, yeah, I don't think I actually sit down and think, okay, well, what have we accomplished over the last however many years, and how have we progressed to be eating better, or as a family eating better. And I just mostly focus on what I still need to do, or what I feel like I need to do. And yeah, I don't think
The role of a mom.
Yeah.
So how do schedules play a role in all of this with the different family members and meal times? Walk me through that, or an average day.
Pretty hectic. I myself usually we all leave the house. My husband goes to work super early in the morning, 5, 6 o'clock. And my son is not, he's at college, so he's not here. Then my daughter, we leave at 7:15, and then I head to classes myself. And so we all have our busy days, and then we're not all home together probably until at least 6 o'clock at night. In which case, then, depending on how our days went, my husband's obviously at work all day, so unless we plan, or he plans something ahead of time, we don't have a dinner plan, which makes it stressful in the evening, and then everybody's tired and doesn't want to cook so much. But when I have a meal plan set up, then it's usually not so bad, but that hasn't been happening lately. So it's on the go, pretty much. Like, we do try to sit down as a family at night to have dinner, but we're not eating till late because we've all been going all day. And then it's something, whatever we can make within 30 minutes or so, just so we can get dinner on the table. And then it's packed lunches, and then, a lot of times I don't eat breakfast. My husband probably eats breakfast on the go, like a fast food, because that's what he likes. And then, and then go. So it's a lot of on the go, and not ideal, but it is what it is right now.
Well, Annette, unfortunately we are out of time today. Thanks for sharing, and it was so nice to meet you.
Yeah, thank you.